Hello viewers, welcome to our lecture series on marketing management, and today we are going to extend our discussion on the very significant topic of marketing management, that is channels of distribution. This is going to be part 2 of our lectures on the topic of channels of distribution, and previously I told you about what significant role this particular component of marketing mix plays in the entire toolkit of a marketer, which is known as one of the significant P's among 4 P's, and it is being represented by the place as channels of distribution. So we have been understanding what exactly channels of distribution are. We have understood what are the channel flows, what are the factors that affect the selection of channels of distribution, and at times we have to understand that there are certain definitions which actually gives us a reflection of what all we are supposed to do when it comes to channels of distribution. So after understanding the basic and broad contours of channels of distribution, now it's time for us to extend our discussion on the different significant definitions given by the top shots of marketing management. And in the series of those definitions, there is a definition by William J. Stanton, who actually defines channels of distribution like this, that a channel of distribution for a product is basically the route taken by the title to the goods as they move from the producer to the ultimate consumers or industrial users. So they don't make a distinction between the end users, that is consumers or industrial users. Whatever is the nature of product is, whether it is a consumer goods or it is an industrial good, regardless of that, the basic role of channel of distribution is to ensure the proper delivery of products from producer to the ultimate users, and it actually defines the entire route taken by the title to the goods as they move from one end to another, that is from producer to the industrial users. So this is basically regarded as one of the broadest definition of channels of distribution, and it actually widens the scope also, because it not only includes the intermediaries or what you call as wholesaler or retailer, but it includes the entire route, that whosoever is coming in that route of particular distribution, they all are included into channels of distribution. So on your end route of product from the producer to the consumers, whatever and whosoever is contributing, they all are included into channels of distribution. So this is a definition given by William J. Stanton. Another definition which is given by McCarthy, who actually gave the concept of marketing mix, and it defines channels of distribution like this, that any sequence of institutions. So my dear learners, mind here that McCarthy, while defining channels of distribution, is of opinion that any sequence of institutions from the producer to the consumer is included into channels of distribution, and it includes none or any number of middlemen is called channel of distribution. So it says that whether you have no channel of distribution, which means you are going for or resorting to direct marketing, or you have number of middlemen in between, they all are included into channels of distribution. So if we go by the definition given by McCarthy for channels of distribution, we can understand that even the producer is also included into the channels of distribution if they are resorting to the direct marketing channel, that will be directly distributing the products from producer to the consumers. So it says, that is why it says that including none or any number of middlemen, it is called channels of distribution. So if you look at these definitions, they are actually giving different they are basically reflecting different dimensions of channels of distribution, that from different perspective different authors have defined channels of distribution in a significant manner, and according to their own experience and their own vision of channels of distribution, they have given this definition. And when we talk about marketing, how can we ignore the legendary author called Philip Kotler, who actually defines channels of distribution like this, that every producer seeks to link together the set of marketing intermediaries that best fulfill the firm's objective. So here Philip Kotler in his own style is bringing in between the firm's objectives, that whatever and whichever route you are resorting to, or whatever activities you are performing, you are basically fulfilling the firm's objectives. So your objective is to attain the goals of organizations or the goals set by the organization. So this set of marketing intermediaries is called the marketing channel. So Philip Kotler is actually using a new word called marketing channel, and this is another dimension of looking at channels of distribution. So it says that every producer seeks to link together the set of marketing intermediaries which are basically helping in the attainment of firm's objectives or company's objectives or whatever you call as the marketing goals. So this is a definition given by Philip Kotler, and another definition by Buskirk, which is also a very important one, which talks about channels of distribution as distribution channels are the system of economic institutions by which a producer of goods delivers them into the hands of their users. So if we go by this definition given by Richard Buskirk, it actually talks about the delivery of products into the hands of their users from producer to end users. So whatever economic institutions are included, system of economic institutions, they all are basically forming part of channels of distribution. So my dear learners, if we combine all these definitions, they talk about the different aspects of channels of distribution in one way or the other. Somebody is talking about economic institutions, somebody is talking about transferring the goods from producer to end users, whether it is industrial user or it is consumer goods, regardless of their nature of product. They are basically talking about the entire channel. Somebody is talking about marketing channels, somebody is giving a new name. So all these definitions, when we combine them together, we can very well understand the very basic nature of channels of distribution. So the ultimate goal is what? Ultimate goal is that the product should reach to the customers in a convenient manner. So as per customers' convenience, as per consumers' convenience, we have to ensure that product reaches on the desired time at desired place and within the desired time frame. So if my customer wants a product at a specific point of time, then of course that should be available, that should be made available, and that is the ultimate goal of the channels of distribution. And the success of channel of distribution lies in this only, that whether customer is finding it convenient or not. So the basic or you can say the soul of this entire concept of channels of distribution is that you should ensure the convenience of your customer. If your customer is not at all finding it convenient, then of course you fail to achieve your ultimate goal as channel of distribution. So whichever and whatever channels of distribution you are resorting to, you have to ensure that it must ensure the customer's convenience. So with this understanding of channels of distribution, now we'll talk about the different flows we have already discussed. I'm just giving you a reminder of or recapitulation of what different types of flows these channels of distribution ensure. So it is starting from product flow to negotiation flow, then ownership, information and promotion flow. All these flows are basically representing the different activities performed by the channels of distribution, who are actually our channel partners. So while being our channel partners, they are actually performing these different duties, these different responsibilities are being shouldered by them, and some of the intermediaries, they are actually performing one or two duties, and there are certain situations where only one intermediary is there and they are performing, and that intermediary is performing all duties. So the crux of the story is that starting from product flow to negotiation, ownership, information and promotion flow, all these responsibilities are shouldered by the channels of distributions, and this actually speaks volumes about the significant role of the channels of distribution. So without our channel partners as a marketer, we can't survive in the market, because we have to ensure that the product reaches to the customers in a desired manner and in the desired format. So without any loss to the product, without any physical loss to the product, we should ensure the timely delivery of the product to the customers as per their convenience, as per their convenient time. We have already discussed about different forms of channels of distribution, and now we'll talk about the marketing channels for consumer goods. So if you look at this diagram, you find that these are different ways of distributing products in one way or the other. Some of the marketers, they are resorting to the producer to consumers directly. They are actually ensuring the flow of goods from marketer to from producer to the end users. So that can also be a channel depending upon the type of product you are dealing into and the kind of infrastructure you have developed in your business enterprise. There are certain situations where you have only one retailer, sometimes you have wholesaler and retailer, sometimes you have agent, wholesaler, retailer and consumers. So if we combine, if we analyze the entire market of channels of distribution across the industries, we would find that the different marketers are actually adopting or resorting to different ways of distributing their products. And we have to understand that if a marketer has decided to go for producer to consumers, and if a marketer has decided to the last one on the continuum, that yes, we will be having agent also, wholesaler, retailer and then consumers. So it is actually the choice of a marketer. If you ask me that which one is the best channel, which one is the better channel, I would say that all the channels of distributions, they are the best, and it depends upon the type of product you are dealing into, the geographical area in which you are going to find your target market. So there are different factors that affect the selection of channels of distribution. But here my job is not to tell you which one is significant, because it all depends upon the market, it all depends upon the customers, that we have to ensure the customer's convenience. So whichever channel is ensuring the customer's convenience, that is going to be the best one, and that should be the right way of circulating or distributing your products from producer to the customers. So there is no hard and fast rule, there is no watertight compartmentalization that yes, this is going to be the best channel, because it all depends upon the type of products. That is why it is, all these forms are available in the market. Some of the marketers, they are resorting to even more than one channels for distributing their products, because they wish to ensure that the product is available as per the customer's convenience, wherever and whenever they want it should be available. So they are ensuring the presence of their product as per the convenience of the customers. That is the only criteria for selecting any channel partner, for selecting any way of distributing the products. Now we have to understand that what significant role these institutions, these middlemen, these intermediaries, or what you call as channels of distribution or economic institutions involved into this distribution task are performing. What kind of activities they are doing, what kind of benefit they are offering to the marketers and customers, what kind of services they are offering to the customers and also to the marketers in turn. So we have to understand that what significant role they are playing, and that will actually give us the idea of why we are selecting this specific channel, why we are having wholesalers or retailers or agents or all of them. So it depends upon the type of product, the kind of market, your target market, your geographical location, your area in which you are performing your duties. Now starting from the first channel, that is called as direct channel. When I say direct channel, it actually defines the delivery of the product. It actually speaks about the delivery of products from producer to the customers directly. That is why we call it direct channel. So here the producer is selling directly to the consumer. The most straightforward example here are producers who sell in the small quantities. So it is always said that since you are having direct channel, it is good, it is useful, it is significant, it is effective also, because you actually know your customers very well. You are in direct contact with your customers to whom you are serving, and you get their feedback instantly, and you can customize the entire distribution process as per the customer's convenience. So this is the most straightforward example here in the name of direct channel, where the producer is directly in touch with the customers and they are distributing. But the limitation of this channel is that you can only deliver in small quantities into the limited geographical area. You cannot deliver to all the locations, you can't be present at all locations. So of course there is a limitation of this direct channel. But if your product is of that nature, I had already discussed about the factors which affect the selection of channel, and there when we were talking about type of product, so that also defines, that also limits our choice. because if your product is perishable in nature, then of course you have to confine your activities to a limited geographical location, and there direct channel is the best channel, because your cost of distributing product is minimum. So your ultimate goal is to ensure that the cost is minimum, and of course the profit is maximum, or whatever benefit you are generating, that should be passed on to the customers. So direct channel is the basically the also called as direct marketing, where you are directly delivering your products to the customers. So retailers are basically companies in the channel that focuses on selling directly to consumers. So there is another name of retailer which comes in between, that sometimes you have retailers in your channels of distribution. There is only one person in between. Producer is directly giving it to retailers, and retailers are in turn selling it to the customers. So retailers are basically the companies in the channel which focuses on selling directly to the end users or consumers. So here you are likely to participate in the retail channel almost every day. We all understand what is retailing, and if we go to the literal meaning of retail, it is basically called as breaking the bulk. So the person or the institution who is breaking the bulk. So from bulk purchase to selling in small quantities, that is the task of a retailer. They are buying in bulk, but they are breaking the bulk and offering the products to the customers in the desired quantity. If I need 1 unit of a product, that too is available, that too is made available to me by the retailer. So we all witness the significance of the retailers every day into our day-to-day activities as well. So from a consumer's perspective, the wholesale channel looks very similar to the retail channel, but if we look at the channels of distribution from the perspective of marketer, it is entirely different. So if you ask a consumer will say that whether it is wholesaler or retailer, whosoever is giving me product, I find them to be a retailer, because they are actually offering me the product. But from the marketer's perspective, it is different. So starting from direct channel, where you are directly contacting your customers, then adding a retailer in between, and after that you have wholesaler also into the channel. It means you are actually widening your scope of operations. You are actually widening the number of people who are included into that channel of distribution. So from a consumer's perspective, the wholesale channel looks very similar to the retail channel, but it involves a wholesaler. And another name which comes in the channel of distribution is the name of agent, or we also call them broker at certain scenarios in certain countries. They are also called as brokers. But the most popular nomenclature which we are finding in the channels of distribution is agent. So the agent channel include one additional intermediary in the channel, that is the ultimate one, because you are having agent, then wholesalers, retailers, and ultimately your consumers. So in short, we have a total of 3 entities involved into channels of distribution. So to the max, we have 3 entities, and the another extreme is that you have no intermediaries. So from 0 to 3, this is the continuum where you are at least having 0. You are having 0 intermediaries in number when it comes to direct marketing. When you add a retailer, then there is 1 addition. After that, you can have wholesaler. So it means you have 2 entities involved in 2, and eventually, if you have all 3, that is agent, wholesaler, and retailer, that is the ultimate one, because that is the most widest form of channels of distribution. So 1 additional intermediary is also added into that. Now the question comes, what is the role of agent? What is the role of broker? Wholesaler and retailer, we understand that wholesalers are buying in bulk and they are transferring the goods to retailers, and then retailers are breaking the bulk and offering the products to the customers in desired quantity. Actually, these agents and brokers, they are different from wholesalers in different ways. They don't take title to the merchandise. On the other hand, when you look at wholesalers or retailers, they do have the title to the merchandise. They do have the right to that merchandise. So in other words, they don't own the merchandise, because they neither buy nor sell. They are neither buying it nor selling it. They are in between only as an agent. So they have no role to own that product. They are simply acting as an intermediary, as an agent or broker, and that is why they are working on behalf of producer. So their activity is like working as a representative of the wholesaler, and of the producer, and producer is actually using them, or producer is actually appointing them as their agents, and later on they are transferring the goods to wholesalers and eventually retailers and customers, depending upon the type of channels of distribution you have into your channels of distribution. Now the question comes, what are the roles performed by, what are the duties performed by these intermediaries? Because now we have understood what these intermediaries are. Now the question comes, what significant roles they have to play, they had to play. So if we start from wholesalers, wholesalers, they play an important role as intermediaries. What is their role? They act as a link in the distribution process, but the roles they fill are broader than simply connecting the different channel partners. People think that they are simply connecting channel partners, but no, they have significant roles to play. They are often called merchant wholesalers. They help move goods between producers and retailers, and if you look at their roles, there are multiple roles which is being played by them. First one is purchasing, they are buying goods, of course. Second one is warehousing and transportation. They have to store the goods at some place, and suppose if the type of the product is of that nature where it requires the conditioned kind of warehousing, that too they provide, and of course transportation is being taken care by them. Next is grading and packaging. If the product is of that type where the grading is required, they also do grading activity in some cases, and eventually they go for packaging. And in this entire process, they are risk bearing, they are bearing risk also, and of course marketing is something which is done by them. So a series of activities which are supposed to be performed by a marketer is actually taken away by the wholesalers. So you can understand the kind of help they are offering to the producers. It can easily be understood by the duties performed by them. So almost the entire task of marketing is being taken care by them for producers, and producers are basically able to concentrate on the quality of product or into their production process only. So starting from purchasing to distributing, marketing, risk bearing, grading and packaging, warehousing and transportation, all these activities they are performing. Now the question comes, what they do into purchasing. So when they are purchasing in bulk, they are purchasing in very large quantities of goods directly from producers, or from suppose if there are a number of wholesalers, that can also be done by them, that they are buying it from the wholesalers, other wholesalers. And by purchasing large quantities or volumes, what they are doing, they are actually able to secure significantly lower prices for retailers. So when they are buying the products at a lower price, of course the benefit is supposed to be passed on to the retailers. So the size of, and for this kind of purchase, the size of investment is also very high. So they are the one who are not only working for producers but also for retailers. Retailers don't have that much of capital to buy in bulk from the producers. So they are actually working with the support of wholesalers. So these wholesalers are actually buying at bulk, buying in bulk, and of course when they are going for purchase in larger quantities, so there is economies of scale also, which is coming to the wholesalers and eventually passed on to the retailers and of course the customers also. So the purchase activity which they are performing, it is not only a simple purchase that they are buying it from producers. They are buying rationally, they are buying at a possible minimum cost. So once the wholesaler has purchased a mass quantity of goods, it needs to get them to place where that can be they can be purchased by the consumers. So this entire process is a very complex and expensive process. They had purchased in bulk, so first of all they have to store it somewhere. So the second significant task which is to be performed by the wholesalers is that they have to store it, they have to carry them in their warehouses, and after that they have to transport it. So they buy a very large quantity of goods and then they break them into smaller lots, and eventually they sometimes they take title to the goods they purchase, or they own the goods they purchase. There are certain situations where they feel that we don't need to take title. So there are two primary consequences of this, both of which are very important to the distribution channel. I'll be telling you both of them. The first one is that it means that wholesaler finances the purchase of goods and carries the cost of goods in inventory until they are sold. So they are actually purchasing and ensuring they are carrying the cost of the goods in the inventory as long as they are being sold out. This is the first inference which we can draw from this. Second is that wholesalers also bear the risk for the product until they are delivered. Till they are delivered, the ownership is with them only. So if goods are damaged in the transport and cannot be sold, then of course the wholesaler is left with the goods and the cost. So whatever loss incurs, they are incurring in the process of distribution, they are actually bearing that. So if there is a significant change in the value of the products between the time of the purchase and at the delivery time, then of course they are supposed to bear that also. So the entire loss or whatever risk you can say, which is supposed to be borne by the channels of distribution, it is done by the wholesalers. And because of this very significant role played by them, they are always relevant in the channels of distribution. So my dear learners, I have told you briefly about the different channel partners, their definitions and the duties performed by the wholesalers. Remaining a part of this segment of lectures I will be delivering to you in the next lecture of mine. Thank you so much.